July 1st, 2023. It was my summer break and I was up late at night laying in my bed scrolling through Last FM. At some point I stumbled across Cemetery's page. I genuinely don't know how or why I was on his page, but it just happened. As I was looking around, I scrolled down to the similar artist section, and the first person that stood out to me was Blade? Nah, it was actually this artist named Elusin. I was immediately intrigued and clicked on her page. After some time, I went on her album of the year page to look at what type of music she does. And when I saw shoegaze, witch house, dream pop and neo psychedelia, my music nerd brain immediately turned on. So the next day I listened to her debut album Synfuels, and before we get into that, we first need to give the music some context. And that brings us to who is Elusin? So, Elusin is a Norwegian-American singer, producer, writer, internet persona, and an overall mysterious figure. Not a lot of things are known about her, but I've managed to scrap some info for this video. As I already mentioned, she's part Norwegian and part American. She grew up all over the world, but most of her life she spent living in Virginia. A lot of her lyrics are about her experiences living in all those places. Her journey with music is also very interesting. Her family does have a history with music, as the woman from her dad's side had experiences with folk music. And her mom's side is Catholic, so she grew up hearing a lot of hymns and stuff like that. Basically, it was bound for her to do music as well. Her music endeavor started when she was little, as she was learning music theory in school. She also knew how to play cello and at some point was a member of a band. Around the age of 16, she started hanging out with people that knew how to produce music digitally, and she would occasionally sing on their beats. She quickly realized that she wanted to learn making music digitally as well, so those friends showed her the basics, and over some time she developed her own style. I guess we could talk about that too. This is the main reason why I even gave Elusin's music a chance in the first place. While looking through the pictures on her Last FM account, I immediately figured out something. She opium as fuck. She stated in an interview that she once reverse image searched her own picture and found her photos all over sites like Pinterest and Tumblr, which I can definitely see why. Her style is very DIY. She pulls influences from the gothic scene, the witch house scene, the early Chief Keef eras, the early 2000s Tumblr era, the native Norwegian dresses, and the Southern American style of dressing. She also frequently mixes in some religious imagery and guns, but like a lot of guns. It's really cool how she mixes her American and Norwegian side in her imagery with all these other cultures and aesthetics. I find it really interesting, so I decided to make my own Elusin type picture. So here it is in its full glory. Listen, I didn't say it was gonna be good. Her first song was uploaded on the 19th of January 2019 to her personal YouTube channel. The song is called See You Again Country Music. And who would have thought it is a country song? The guitar is a sample from fuck knows where, but the instrumental isn't the main focus here. I'm not saying that it's bad, but this song really showcases Elusin's vocals and her style of singing. Her vocals are very dreamy and soft, not in your face, but they sound very beautiful and calming. The only problem that I have with this song are the lyrics, as compared with everything else, they're just generic and kinda uninteresting. Elusin said in an interview that around this time when she started doing music, she wrote more basic emo type lyrics. But as you will see later, her lyricism improves drastically. Her second song that she released a couple of months later is called Friends, and is completely different to her first song. This time around, the instrumental is much more trap inspired with some elements of rock mixed in. I really like this track, and it is a really good beginning song to start off if you haven't heard anything from Elusin before. And it is also on Spotify. I haven't mentioned this, but she only has like 3 songs and 1 album out on Spotify, so if you want to listen to some of these songs that I talk about, go to her personal YouTube channel. The next 2 songs that she released were God Likes Me and Possessive. They're both pretty similar as they're both kinda acoustic ballads. I like Possessive more as it is a more developed track compared to God Likes Me, but God Likes Me isn't bad, just a little bit forgettable. Snow Bunny is probably Elusin's most fun song as it's a rap song with a Gucci Mane inspired flow. The beat of the song is a Chief Keef type beat, and if you actually go to the song on Elusin's YouTube channel, the song is claimed by the maker of the beat. I know why I find that fucking hilarious. Nonetheless, the song is a slap, the beat is hard, Elusin's voice is weirdly fire in a context of a rap song, and the lyrics are funny as shit. I highly recommend you to check this one out on Elusin's YouTube channel. Break Up Please is similar to God Likes Me and Possessive as it is another acoustic ballad. The lyrics are still kinda generic, but the strings in the instrumental are very beautiful. Valley Love and June are these very low-key trap/electronic tracks that I just can't get into. I'm not fucking with the production at all, as these are the only few songs that Elusin hasn't produced herself, so it isn't really her fault. But still, go check these songs out, maybe you like them more than I do. Oh, and I have to say this, in Valley Love, Elusin gives a shout out to Black Cray, so you could say that she's based. Silhouette released on the 18th of April 2021 and is Elusin's second collab with Cemetery as he produced this song. A year before this song dropped, they released a single called 9 Scarecrows that I don't really like, but it is considered to be a cult classic in the community. Silhouette on the other side is a banger, Cemetery's production is fire and Elusin's vocals are also great. I've always viewed this song as a combination of Friends and Snow Bunny. The lyrics are also great on this song, and from now on, Elusin's lyrics are becoming really good. This is also the only Elusin song that has a music video accompanying it. Definitely go check this song out, it's a banger and it is on Spotify and other streaming services. Rockstar is the last song Elusin dropped before her Synfuels era, and damn, this one is also a slap. It has this dark, kinda shoegaze instrumental and a really nice rhythm. A great late night song to just vibe to. The Synfuels era, as I shamelessly named it myself, started on the 31st of December 2021, as Elusin dropped or previewed the song Sometimes You Gotta Build Your Own Church. I don't know where this even comes from, I realized it exists because it said on her album of the year page and the random ass re-upload of the song exists on YouTube, so I guess it's real. The track is an early demo version of the song Synfuels Interlude, which would later be included on the album, so that makes Sometimes You Gotta Build Your Own Church the lead single of the album. The next single that would be released is the song Elskling. On the 13th of January, Elskling 1 would be released, and 2 days later on the 15th of January, Elskling 2 would be released. The songs are labeled by numbers because they're different versions from each other, and the second one would end up being on the actual album. The first version is more electronic, and as I discussed before, I don't really like when Elusin goes into that pocket, so I much more prefer the second, more acoustic version of the song. After all of the singles, on the 26th of September 2022, Elusin finally released her debut album named Synfuels. After years of waiting, Elusin finally releases her long-awaited album. And the real question that is on everybody's minds, did she deliver? I would say that she absolutely did. This album is a mix of so many genres and production styles, it's insane. You can find shoegaze, dream pop, witch house, ambient, trap, indie rock, neo psychedelia, and so much more. Some songs on the album are from as early as 2019. Elusin stated in an interview that she had to accept all the flaws and imperfections of the album as part of the charm, which I definitely see why. The biggest complaint that some may have with the album is the mixing, as I was also guilty of that. On first listen, I wasn't really a big fan of how the vocals were mixed, because at some points they seemed too low or drowned in the mix. But as I listened to the album more and more, I realized that if the album was mixed like a, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar album, it wouldn't have the charm that it has. Now that I've mentioned all the things surrounding the album, how are the actual tracks themselves? Synfuels Prelude is a great opening track. It sets the tone of the album very well with its huge sounding dark ambient atmosphere. Locked and Loaded is a 5-minute shoegaze song. It has this very fat, distorted sounding guitar playing, which is actually an acoustic guitar with a lot of effects added onto it. This song was originally an 8-minute long improv piece that Elusin recorded while being drunk. I think the song is about Elusin moving on from a previous relationship, but honestly, who knows? The lyrical content on this album is very abstract, so who knows what Elusin is really trying to say on these tracks. The Hymn of the Mountain Priest, Sky Katedralen, is one of the strangest songs on the album. Not only is it half sung in Norwegian, but the instrumental is wild as hell. It has trap drums mixed with these witch house synths that sound like they're flying through the song. It's wild. One of the most crazy instrumentals on the album for sure. Come All Ye Fair and Tender Ladies continues the shoegaze sound of Locked and Loaded with its distorted ass guitar. The first part of the song has the already mentioned distorted guitar and these heavy hitting industrial sounding drums. Well, the drums could be recordings of a shotgun, but I don't really know. And also this part sounds like Scooby-Doo. The second part of the song is much more calm. The instrumental consists of keys and some strings. It sounds very ethereal, especially with Elusin's vocals mixed in. Fun fact, the animal/squeaky noises in the background of the second part were recorded with some sponge and some glass. The more you know. Highway is, I think, a song that kinda blew up on TikTok, so that's that. But for real, the song is great. The first draft of the song was made in 2019 and according to Elusin it was very bad. But at least the finished product turned out great. The production is good, I like the guitar work, but the synths are still kinda weird to me. They sound very Halloweeny and kinda goofy, honestly. The drums and Elusin's vocals are the best part of the song for me, easily. The lyrics are there. Probably my least favorite song on the album, but it's still really good. Up Up is a trap song at its core, but with a guitar mixed in. I like it, the production is very soft on here, and the drums also for some reason remind me of Aphex Twin's first album. Another really good song that adds to the overall sound and the vibe of the album. Sinful's Interlude is the longest song on the album, but also one of the best. It has the least amount of streams on Spotify and I totally get why, because it's basically a 6-minute ambient piece. I really like the progression of the song and how smoothly it changes from phase to phase. On Genius it says that it doesn't have any lyrics, which is wrong because you can hear some words being muffled throughout the song. I can't really understand most of it, but I'm pretty sure that at some point Elusin says it's alright, God I miss you, and she said. Listen, I don't really care what she's saying because the track is so beautiful and immersive. And also, if the song already sounds kinda familiar while listening, it's because the intro to the album is entirely made by sampling this song, which is so cool and creative. I've already talked about Elskling, so I'm gonna keep it short. It's amazing. I love the guitar work and the deep vocals in the background. I also think that lyrically this song is really interesting and Elusin kills it on the vocal side as well. And that's really it. Let's talk about the outro. Heart Locked is an amazing outro and one of Elusin's best songs. The instrumental sounds and feels like you finally completed a long journey but lost someone along the way. The passionate singing from Elusin makes this song feel so emotional. The lyrics describe Elusin reminiscing about a person she lost in her life. She can't let go of this person, so she keeps them in a heart locket to always remember them. A beautiful closer to an album that's all about love, past relationships, moving on and growing up as a person. After Elusin released Sinfuels, not much has happened. She's been doing shows and I guess preparing to release new music. She was featured on a song recently and that's really it. Even before Sinfuels released, she's been teasing her second album that has her newer music on it, so I'm looking forward to that. In the description I also put links to Elusins Socials, so if you want you can go and support her. And while on the topic of supporting, please subscribe to my channel. I've spent so much time doing research for this video and I have some cool plans for the future, so yeah. Bye!